to another episode of Cooking with the Charleses. I'm solo today because my love is not feeling well, but we must nourish ourselves, correct? So I found this one pot chicken and orzo meal, and I'm gonna take my try my hand on it. So I already prepared everything that I'll need for this dish. I did it because the guy that was in the video, he did it, so I said I'm gonna do it too. So the chicken thighs have been clean, cut. We are going to pat dry them because we want them to have a nice sear. Do one side at a time. Add, gotta take that off. Salt and pepper. Now we're gonna get salt and pepper from other things. So don't do like too much, but don't do too little. Then we're gonna flip. I love one pot meals. So easy. Don't have to worry about having a whole lot of pots that have been dirty. Give me just a minute. I gotta wash my hands. And I just love that it's just all in one. It just makes it easier. For prep time, I think it took maybe like half an hour to prep. So it's not too much. And then if you've got more hands to help, of course, it's going to take less prep time. Okay. We've got our basic seasonings on. And for me, now I have to decide, am I going to listen to this man or am I going to do what I want? And I think I might do what I want. Okay. Just a little, just on one side. A little bit of garlic salt. Not too much. Not too much. And then, you know, it seems lately I can't do a dish without having a little bit of the Kinder's caramelized onion butter. Hello again, Kinder's. We haven't heard from you. I'm just teasing. No, I'm not. Okay, we got just a little. And we're set. Now we're going to get our pan. Make sure you've got a pan that has a lid because we're going to use that later on. This is like on medium high. I'm going to add some olive oil and a little bit of truff oil. If you forgot, there's truff. You can use whatever like flavored oil you have on hand. If you don't, that is okay too. Let's let that heat up. And you know what I forgot to do? I turned the chicken thighs over and I forgot to pat them dry. Don't forget that. That'll come in handy. But since we did not do it for us, we're just carrying on. We're carrying on. We're going to let that heat and then we'll add the chicken. We're going to add the chicken. And we're just cooking until it has some color. Because it's going to finish cooking in the pot with the orzo and the other delicious ingredients. So we're going to add it, keep an eye on it, and flip it. I got some chicken bits in here. Telling you the truth, I'm not leaving them behind. Let me just get them together and add them right in there. Right in the middle. A little chicken goop. We've only been cooking for a few minutes. Let's see how it's looking. Yeah. Let's let it cook a little bit more before we turn the other one. I want more color. had to introduce this splatter screen because oil was going a little crazy. So let's see. Just in a few more minutes. Aha, that's the color I want. Let's flip them. Flip and let cook. And you know why? There's all that splashing. It's because we didn't pat down the other side. Lesson learned. Chicken is on its way out. Because the next step, since we've got all our things prepped, onions, we'll leave that in. Onions will be joining the party. Don't worry if they're not cooked through because they're going to be cooking more later. Onions to the pot. Let's get something to stir. You can kind of tell, but add oil as needed. I'm just going to add a little bit more olive oil as we let these onions cook a little bit. The good thing about this, it doesn't take the onions very long to cook at all. We're going to be adding garlic. I've got about 5 or 6 cloves of garlic diced. Let's let those flavors marry. And one pot cooking, another good thing is it's just the flavors carry over. I love, love, love everything being in one pot. I added just a little bit more oil because now I'm going to add my tomatoes. It was just like one of those little packages of grape tomatoes, and you can add whatever tomatoes you would like. And I'm just going to cook until some of the juices start to release from the tomatoes. And right now, closer to medium for the heat than it is on high, because this is cast iron and it holds the heat very well. But you know your pans at home, so adjust as needed. You can see the tomatoes starting to relax, especially when the pan gets a bit more juicy. And at that point, that's when we're going to add our 1 pound of Orzo. And we're going to stir up. We're just going to let it toast a little bit. You don't have to. You can add the liquids right after this, but I enjoy letting the flavors marry. Let them get to know each other. This isn't the first. Well, this is the first Orzo recipe I've done for this channel, but I've used Orzo before, and it's very versatile. It's like kind of like in between for me, like in between rice and pasta. Although it's pasta, but I do enjoy how it just takes on the flavor of whatever you're making. We don't need to let it like toast too long because I've got the. Ooh, you see the color? Wow. I've got the chicken broth ready. 3.5 cups of low sodium. I didn't have low sodium, so I did 2.5 cups of the broth, and then I added 1 cup of water. just to get the salt level down. Let it. I want to bring it to a boil, and then we'll put the top on. It's coming to a boil, and I tasted the broth as it was added in. It didn't have the flavor profile that I liked, so I added some salt and some pepper, a little bit of adobo, and you can kind of play around with it however you like. But before we lower the heat, we're gonna add the chicken back in. Ooh, and don't forget the chicken juices. Everything's back in. And make sure that before you turn the heat down, make sure that some of the orzo is not sticking to the bottom, because you do not want that. All that's in. Gonna just do one last whoop, mixing, and we're cutting that heat down. I forgot to mention, not only are we cutting the heat down, but we're adding the top. That'll make sure it cooks all the way through. We're gonna cook until all the broth is absorbed, and if you can see that, that looks absolutely delicious. But just to make sure that everything is going well, because we don't want all the broth to be gone, but we do want the orzo to be cooked. So let's just get a little sample, and that's it. A few more minutes, and we're there. Here we are, just a few minutes later. Let me taste it. Taste the middle part here. Okay. That's perfect. We can cut the heat off now. Now, if you got to this point and you were like, oh, I want the orzo to cook a little bit more, add some broth. Let it boil down. We've got, since it's a bit of a Mediterranean type, we've got some Kalamata olives, and you can put whatever olives you'd like in there. You can leave them whole or cut them down, just make sure they're pitted. And then I rinse them off and I let them soak in a little bit of water just to take out some of the salt. And then we've got some Italian parsley. Look at the pop of color that this has now. Just some chopped up for color and flavor. And then, this is the part I'm unsure about, because I'm gonna rinse off this parsley that's stuck to my hand. I'm not particularly a Feta fan, but this recipe does call for Feta. Let me get some out of the fridge. I've got two types that I can try. I've got the garlic and the herb, or the tomato basil. Let me ask Love, and then I'm gonna come back. I've gone with the garlic and herb, but these clumps are big, so I'm gonna go with just a little crumbly. You know how crumbly Feta is. Gives it a little bit of a pop as well. Crumble that Feta over this dish. I'm just gonna add a little. If you're making this and you're not a fan and someone else is a fan, put that Feta on the side for them, okay? And they can add as much or as little as they like. Now, I almost forgot to ask. If you were making this recipe, what would you add? What would you take out? We want to know in the comments. And also, if you've made it this far, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'd love to have you as part of our family. And to our current subscribers, new and old, welcome back. We love you. Now I'm going to dig in. Let me see. I just want a piece of chicken as well. And I'm being like, listen, this is a one-pot meal. I'm going to eat from the pot, okay? Don't judge me. Ah, look. You see how easy that knife went through that chicken? I just want a little sample of chicken. There we go. Let's get that one. Some Orzo, maybe some tomato. I'll come back for the olive. The Orzo is already delicious, I can tell you that. But I want it all together. I'll come back for your tomato. And here's my bite so far. Bon appetit. All those flavors coming together. I have to say, even the feta with this dish, absolutely delicious. Let me get some olive. Let me get a little bit more of that chicken. Oh wow. And I'm smelling all the ingredients like shining through. Come here, chicken piece. That's the second piece. I mean, that's the second bite there. Let's see. The burst of flavor that you get from that olive. Now, I'm gonna have to get myself a bowl and have all these all together because it's absolutely delicious. And I'm certain that whoever that you decide to make this recipe for will absolutely love it. But make sure to come back and let us know how it turned out. Remember, life's better, well seasoned. We'll see you next week, Wednesday, 7:30. Bye.